Today's video is gonna be about how you can actually use these AI agents to fully autonomous run a website for you. So you can see this is the example site I have created. So here I kind of was inspired by Hacker News. So all of the posts you can see here is 100% generated by these agents we can create. So this is by the video agent 8 minutes ago. It went to YouTube, it found this interesting video that fit the topic we want to write about. We even have some agents that generate some kind of engagement by commenting on the posts. So this is just an example of what you can do with the framework. This could of course be any website you want, your company's website, going out, getting information about your niche and posting articles or blog posts or whatever you want. And you can also change the UI, and we have set up some autonomous bug fixing if we run into any deployment issues. So this site now is 100% running on GitHub Actions. So every half an hour or an hour, it looks for a new interesting post about the topics we are interested in and makes a post here, and we get some engagement with some kind of comments. And all of these are just stored in a database here, pretty simple on Supabase. We have the posts, we have the deployment logs. If we run into any issues, we can autonomously fix that. And we have the comments. So that is basically how we set this up. So today I kind of want to dive into how you can set this up. I'm going to be posting my framework on my community GitHub if you're interested in that. So this could be shaped into whatever you want. But let's just run it one time now so you can kind of see how this works. So we can just run it locally now the first time. So let me zoom in a bit. So if we run Python AI agents now, so what's going to happen is that we have added some tools for our agents. So we do make a search query. So the search query is OpenAI AI Agents 2025. We are adding, the agents are using the Brave search tool. So they can do a video search or a text-based search on the Brave search engine. So it goes out, search to find this different information about the topic we want. It wrote a post. So here you can see post 219, OpenAI's vision for AGI, a game changer for 2025. It generates some comments for engagement, and this was posted. So if we head to our local host now and refresh here, you can see we got a video agent here. There was no link. There was no embedded YouTube here, but if we click on this, you can see we get a video from Julia McCoy, Sam Altman. We know how to build AGI by 2025, right? So it links to YouTube videos because we set up BraveTube, Brave search, video search. So you can see here's the post. So yeah, that is basically how this works. So you gotta think a bit bigger, like this could be shaped into anything you want. And since this is running fully autonomous, when you first have set it up, this can do a lot of work for you if you find the right way to set this up using, code, right? So the next part now, if this sounds interesting for you, is gonna be kind of a deep dive into how I set this up and how you can too. So let's head over here to Cursor and kind of look at how I set this up to make this work exactly how I wanted it. We're gonna introduce some bugs to the system and see if this can self-correct and still deploy the website. So if you're still here, cool. I think this could be very interesting. So yeah, you don't want to miss out on this, I think. So yeah, I kind of want to go over what my thinking was behind this and how I kind of solved it by using, you can see different agents, but this is basically just a framework. You can build this out to be as advanced as you want. Now we have just added the tool, zoom in a bit, two tools. We only have the Brave search and the Brave video search tool, but let's say we add a bunch of other tools. We can add image generator tools like replicate. We can do flux models, create images. We can do a bunch of other stuff here to run your site, but still be autonomous. So I have also created like a small model spinner here. Here you can add a bunch of other models for your agents. I found out that if we add, if you not only use OpenAI models, we add some Gemini, some Claude models, the engagement or the post become a bit different. So it could be cool to have a bunch of other models here. We can also add in like third-party hosters, like yeah, we can use Llama, DeepSeek, these other models, Qwen. So basically you can just expand here on models to kind of add the models you like. So if we go further down here, we always select a random agent to write the post. And for us, that is just the tech writer agent that writes text posts, or the video agent that creates video posts. We have some comment agents, so that is the tech dude, the Gen Z gamer, or the conspiracy dude. So all of these prompts you can see here, this is kind of, I built out a folder. Let me just remove my camera a bit here. So if you look over here, you can see I have a folder named agent, and here I have kind of my comment agents. So here is agent 1 prompt. This is the tech obsessed futurist who's passionate about AI and gaming. We have a Gen Z that writes comments, and a conspiracy theorist passionate about AI and gaming. This is something just mock agent personalities I wrote here. And then we have our post agent. Here we kind of added some more topics. So here, there's a bit different. So you can see this is like when writing post, we have some instructions how to write a post. We have a list of topics that interest you. So we just added like a bunch of tech AI topics here for this example. We have the agent 2 prompt. This always uses the Brave video search tool. Same topic, but the first agent uses the text tool more. This is always gonna be a video agent thing. So that is basically our setup for agents. So you can have as many as you want here to rotate to get different types of posts in my case. But for you, that could be anything else. So that is kind of how I implemented these different personalities in my code here. And I want to randomize it, so we get like a random comment, a random agent, and a random model each time we post. We do load example posts, so I created a text file with some example posts, kind of the structure I like. So we have the title, content, and a URL. We have a title. This year Zuckerberg says Meta. We have a YouTube URL here. And we have an example post 3. I was also considering adding some example comments, but I haven't done that. If you go further down, here is kind of our generate post content function. This is pretty straightforward. We are just using GPT-4o now from OpenAI. But here we can also change up. Remember, we had this random model here. You can have like Claude, but you might have to create a second post or just change it up a bit here because the Claude setup is a bit different than OpenAI's. So here we kind of go into the prompt. So we want to feed in the personality. This we just do by the agent prompt we import, right? So here is the select random agent. So we're just gonna put in the agent prompt. That is gonna be the personality. And we want to keep the date. That is kind of nice, so we are staying up to date with the search. We have an instruction to use some of the tools if we want to. But the first part here, you can see we have a try statement here because we want to do a search first. So we do like choose a topic that interests you from the list of topics above. We have some example of good search queries, bad search queries. So we want to do like a good search query to find some information. Here's the tool choice. We always set that to auto. So here you can see we have the tool choices, Brave Search and Brave Video Search. And if you scroll further down here, now we kind of come to the second part. So the first part of the agent is going to be to do a search. So we get some search results from the Brave Search. And we're going to use that to write a short, interesting news post about the topic you just researched. Using the information provided. Keep it between a few sentences and max 1 paragraph. And here we kind of feed in the search result we found from the search query. We dump in the search result. And we load the example posts. And from there we generate a short, concise, interesting post with your personal opinion on this topic in the style of the example posts. And we have just a small JSON object setup here. Title, content, video URL. And yeah, that is basically it. We have some regex or just some fixing here to make the format correct. That works pretty good. And then we have the create post. So this is in the Supabase database because I want to store this in the Supabase. So we can head over there and take a quick look. So yeah, I have the post stored in like created at. We have the title, we have the URL to the, so this is the YouTube URL, the article URL, the content and the author. And we have some video URLs if you're gonna embed this, right? I was also considering adding points like on Hacker News. We'll see, maybe I add that later. And the same for the comments, basically the same. So it's what post it commented on, so the ID of the post it commented on, and the author and the content and the created at. So that is basically the simple database setup. So we can fetch from that, we can load and save file. These functions are to actually change the UI if we run into any issues. So here is where Claude come in. I also use Claude, but for this, it's when we have issues with the website. So you are an expert at React and Next.js developer. Your task is to fix errors in the code. So we're gonna introduce an error to the code later and see if we can fix it by running this, because we feed the build error from Vercel. So we're gonna feed both the file, the page TSX, the layout TSX, and we feed in the build error from Vercel. And from there we try to fix that autonomously, so we don't have to go into the backend ourselves to fix it, or go into the front end code, I guess. So we also want some autonomous thing to fix that if we run into any deployment issues. We store the deployment logs into our database. We can fetch them with this function. So we always fetch the latest one, of course. Yeah, here we can get deployment logs if you need that. And here's kind of the generate comment function. This is basically the same as the first setup with the agent. So here we select a random comment agent, and we select a random model. You're an agent with this personality, write a concise, thoughtful comment. And we just fetch the post title and the post content. Write a comment on post on your personal opinion to this post and keep it short but impactful. So we just feed in the post and the post title, and we fetch the comment agent personalities, and then we make a comment on the post, right? And then it's basically just the main function. We can ask how many posts we want to generate. We can do 1 and 1 comment on each run. Maybe we can set it to 2 posts and 2 comments. But for now, I'm just going to keep it to 1, 1. When I deploy this, I'm probably just going to keep it like 2 posts and 3 comments or something. So that is basically the full AI agent. That is basically the core of the code. But we have some other stuff here that is quite important too. On GitHub Actions, we are running this website controller.py. So basically this is the full setup that it's gonna be run on GitHub Actions. So I guess I just show you that, but we can do it here now. So if we run Python website controller, this is gonna be the full project. So what happens first is that we have 3 attempts. We generate a post. We use the Brave tool. How is AI changing software development? It's the search query. AI revolutionizing software development, at what cost? We have a YouTube video. We generate some comments. And now we are kind of moving on to committing and deploying changes. So we have GitHub set up. So we push this to GitHub with the changes. We have this git add, git commit, and git push. And then we start, of course, building over on Vercel. So if we go here now, you can see we are building a new version of our homepage. So you can see it's already added here because this is loading from the database. can see we are building this now. And if you go back to cursor, you can see we are just waiting for the building to be deployed. So this is just looking at the status of the, so you can see build status was ready. Good. We save the logs. So now we're going to load the logs, and we use an LLM to check the logs to see if they look good. And if they look good, we're gonna say that the website is updated successfully and it's pushed online. So let's just see if that happens. If it does, let's introduce an error in the front end and see if we can fix that autonomously. Yeah, perfect. Website updated successfully. View post at right. Okay. So that worked. This means that our page here is now kind of live. Everything is updated. Okay, great. But what happens now if we, let's say we go to our front end here, source app page, and we introduce, let's say, just an error here. Let's just do something like this. So if we go here to our local host now, you can see we got this failed error here. Right? Okay. So what I want to test now, because I set up this, remember this feature here to update page content. So we are using Claude 3.5 to try to fix errors in our front end. So what's gonna happen now if we do, so we run this again, Python website controller. So it was a pretty simple error. It's just like a typo here. We have an extra character. So we're just gonna run this again, generate a post, starting everything again. So yeah, I'm just gonna skip a bit ahead. We push this. Now we are trying to deploy this. So we're probably gonna run into issues deploying this, as you will see soon. So you can see now, building status error, attempt 2 out of 12. We even got a mail here. So yeah, there were some issues. So we saved the logs to this. So I think I have the logs locally here. Let me see. It's a bunch of logs here, but I think it's this one. So you can see we have an issue here. Yeah. I don't know if that was the correct log, but anyway, we save the logs. So now the latest log is going to be fed into the Claude 3.5 context to see if we can actually fix this, right? So we are fetching the log, checking deployment, and we have an error in our page.tsx. So now we are attempting to fix this build error by just providing our page.tsx and our build log. So now we are generating, starting again. We changed up our code. So if we go to our page.tsx now, you can see, yeah, we removed the character here. So we fixed this, we saved it, and now we're going to try to deploy again. So what is nice about this is that this kind of makes our code more autonomous if we run into any issues deploying this. So this was kind of something I really wanted to fix, because it's really annoying if you have an autonomous website and you run into some deployment issues. Because then you have to rush to your computer and fix it if it's some important website. So with this system kind of set up with an LLM checking the code, the front-end code, and the build error logs, you can kind of fix it autonomously. So hopefully now we can actually build this successfully, and we can deploy this successfully again. Yeah, you can see we fixed that. The build is now ready and we can deploy this. And now you can see the website was updated successfully. Perfect. So now we kind of fix this. Yeah, we are back up again. We can even load our, so the domain is superstrongai.com. We got some new posts here. OpenAI's ambitious plans for AI agent. Okay. So here we got some more posts. And we are back up again. But the thing is, this website is just my example. So you gotta kind of think a bit bigger here. Let's say you are a small startup, you don't have really a lot of time to build out your website. I think this could be a good solution for like small businesses maybe that don't have dedicated people to working on their site. Then you can have like an automated system that goes out, do some research or look at some videos to get relevant content for your startup, or it looks at internal documents or something and writes these small simple articles. That could be anything. My idea was just to try to make this work with different agent that does different jobs for you, right? So that was basically the whole idea. The way I set this up now to run autonomously, it's with GitHub Actions and like a cron job. So this is every hour now. So if we head over to GitHub Actions, we can just, yeah, run this job. And we set this to a schedule. So I set this to every hour now. We run this. But that is of course up to you. I think it's just a very simple way to do this. So this runs every hour here and looks for some information. So what is really nice about this, that it's very flexible, right? You can always change this up. If you suddenly want to change the UI, you can just do that. You can even have, this is something I tested but I didn't implement in this video. I added like a designer agent that kind of changes the UI on the fly too. So I tested it, so it kind of did, it changed up the UI for every run. It changed the colors, it changed the font. Sometimes it was dark mode, sometimes it centered the text. It was a bit annoying, but that is something you can think about too. Another idea I had is like I can feed in the weather report and the UI could change based on the weather where you are located or something. That's just an idea you can do with this. And you can add a bunch of more agents here, so you can get like a diverse set of commenters on your posts. So yeah, just a very fun project I've been thinking about for a while, so I'm really glad I just went through with it and built it out. So yeah, pretty fun, and it's not that expensive. So if you want to do a lot of posts, you can just use GPT-4o Mini or like Claude Haiku or something. It should be pretty cheap too. Maybe Gemini Flash, that's a good idea to use here. It's very cheap. And it's a lot of fun. And this is just my idea. I think like if you are still watching this, you probably have some ideas on your own how you want to use this. And I think it's gonna be pretty cool to see. I kind of want to do my own website where it downloads my videos, turn them into articles and update fully autonomous. So I'm outsourced from that. I'm not gonna, this is just gonna be a 100% autonomous process for me. The agents download my videos, turn it into text, write the images, write the text from the transcript, add some images and post it. So it just could be like some kind of webhook or something that looks for new videos from my channel on YouTube. That is just one idea, right? There's a bunch of stuff we can do with this. And it's pretty cheap, like if you use Supabase too. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this. I don't know what else to say. Like if you're interested in my framework, just become a member of the channel. You can find the link in the description below. I will be posting this and my previous project with Gmail agents on the community GitHub, so you can get access to that if you want to become a member, and then you should have access to this. If not, you can just follow my video today and write this out for yourself. It shouldn't be too hard. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. Hope this gave you some cool ideas what we can start doing now with these agents. This term has become a bit, I don't know, not cringe, but a bit overused. But I think this is a good way to use it. I would call this an agent because it has a job, it has an action it can take, and it does something useful, like practical. I think this is what I think about an agent, at least for this use case. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for all the support. I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully we speak again very soon.